You're a big global superstar. But here, I feel like the expectations, the pressure might even be more. I know how much you love being here in Abu Dhabi and the UAE, but is it more difficult to be here because the expectations, the time, the attention that you get here makes it more difficult to compete than maybe in Las Vegas?
What's up, guys? Yes, of course, it's a little bit difficult. It's always difficult when you have fight, when you have cut weight, when you have so much pressure on your shoulder. It's always difficult. It's never been. It's like easy. And right now it's like special time for me, fighting here in Abu Dhabi with all this pandemic stuff, with all this like without crowd, without fans, and I think it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah. Clearly, this would be a huge win for you in your career. It's a big fight. We know that 30-0 mark is out there for you. We don't know who it might be, but if you win this fight and 30-0 is on the line, when would you like to have that next fight? Do you have a date plan that you think that's when I'd like to go for 30-0?
Honestly, I don't like this word if. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And I'm focused on Justin Gaethje this Saturday night. And what UFC have after this fight, I think you guys have to ask this guy, because he called us, and then we talk about fights. What's going to happen after, I don't know. Right now, I'm focused on Justin Gaethje.
Very nice. For Justin, if I could, please, when we were talking to Khabib earlier, he mentioned that he thought he could wear you down. Rounds 3 and 4 might be a good time to finish you. Are you surprised to hear him say that he thinks he can wear you down based on your track record, your history of pace and of exciting fights?
No, I know he's, ultimately confident in what he does. He's done it 28 times. So, I expect him to believe that that's going to happen. I've been telling myself that's going to happen, as a matter of fact. And that's what drives me every single day. I'm a performer. I always show up under the lights. And that's what I do. I've been doing this as long as he has. This is ingrained in us. And on Saturday night, I will, leave everything, give everything, and, be proud of my performance.
Nice. And last thing for me, Justin, I feel like in most of Khabib's fights, we can see his opponent, kind of a moment that person breaks, that person realizes, like, man, this dude's different. He's special. Have you ever been in a position like that where you were tested and you thought, man, this guy might break me? And if so, how do you get through that in a fight?
Never in actual competition, but in practice, that's happened many times. My rule is I quit or you quit every single time I go to practice. Whether we're best friends or, enemies, I'm here to get better. And that's what every practice is for me. Again, I've been telling myself that's going to happen. And, I can't wait to surprise myself again.
Dana, obviously your excitement for this fight must be off the charts, but how do you actually see it playing out when they're inside the octagon? How does the fight go?
I don't know. That's another thing that makes this fight so exciting. I mean, you think you know what he's going to do, and you're pretty sure you think you know what he's going to do, but when they get in there, anything is possible. Again, one of the things that makes this fight so fun and so exciting and so interesting to the world.
Can you guarantee this is going to be a fantastic fight?
Tell me the last fight he was in that sucked.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, when was the last fight he was in that sucked? It doesn't exist, you know what I mean? And I don't have the numbers. I completely forgot about that. But what has he lost? Has he lost 2 rounds in his entire career? He's undefeated, right? But how many rounds has he lost in fights?
Just 1.
4?
I'd say 0, but they say 1.
1?
Yeah, they say 1.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? Khabib is looking down the barrel of, not only the greatest to ever do it in this division, but look, listen, I think if he beats Justin on Saturday, he's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and he's on his way to GOAT status. And like he said, he doesn't say if, how long he's going to stick around and how many more of these he's going to do, but pretty impressive what this guy has done. To be sitting here, I mean, you know what I think of John Jones, and we always talk about what John's accomplished in his career. Look at how many fights this guy has, and he's still undefeated. And this is a nasty, nasty weight division.
For Justin, I was thinking, when you look at Khabib's past fights, is there a consistent mistake his opponents always make, or is it just that he's good enough to overcome whatever they have planned?
I didn't watch any tape on Khabib. I've watched his fights throughout his career because I'm a huge fan of MMA, but I didn't go back when I got him as an opponent to analyze him. I've always focused on being my best self. I've worked as long. He hasn't wrestled or fought somebody that has wrestled or grappled as long as he has. That is me. I have. Everyone says they're ready. I will not allow him to put me on the fence. And if I do, then I'm screwed. So my game plan is if he wants to grapple, let's grapple in the middle. And at all times, I will be, I've said it 1,000 times, I cause damage. I have dense bones, and, I'm going to kick his legs. That's where it's going to start, and then we're going to move on from there.
And for Khabib, Justin just mentioned his wrestling. I was curious, for the uninitiated, what's the difference between the wrestling you possess and the wrestling that a traditional American D1 wrestler possesses?
I think you're supposed to ask me what difference between Dagestan wrestling and American wrestling. This is a good question. I think it's big difference, and I know he know how to wrestle, but what about wrestling 25 minutes? It's gonna be like I told DC today, like when you fight with Stipe Miocic last time, you grab his leg one time and you take him down, and he get up very quickly, and that's it, and you finish. And other minutes all going stand up, but between me and DC is big difference. In if I'm gonna try to take him down once and he gonna defend his goods, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go all night. I'm gonna go all night. This is big difference between U.S. wrestling and Dagestan wrestling.
And then when it comes to Justin Gaethje, what does he do specifically for your legacy that your previous opponents have not done?
He finished a lot of opponents, a lot of great guys, and he finished all of them. And he was a great champion in other organization before UFC. Right now he champion in UFC, interim champ. He beat Tony Ferguson. I think beat a guy like Justin Gaethje is gonna be big for my legacy.
And then last thing from me, we've heard from Justin say he causes damage, and a lot's been made of his mindset leading into this fight. Do you believe Justin Gaethje has a unique attitude towards fighting?
Yes, when he fight, he beginning very fast. Like first round, he's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. I think him and Conor is two most dangerous guys in first round. But if you talk about second round, third round, they become like a little bit regular fighters.
I don't think it's bigger, but this is an individual sport. It's such a different sport than all sports. And not so much, or representing the United States is special. I never thought a kid from Safford, Arizona would be able to have this opportunity, especially halfway across the world in Abu Dhabi. Look how beautiful this place is. I've never been to a place like this before. I'm not even supposed to be here. This is supposed to be Tony Ferguson. Thank God I got that opportunity, and I took it from him. I took his soul. And now I perform. When I'm under those lights, it's just what I do. It's ingrained in both of us. We will both go out there and we will fight for our lives. It's who we are. So yeah, this is huge for me, huge for my family, huge for my country, huge for the small town of Safford, Arizona. I'm so proud of that.
Same question for Khabib. Does it mean anything to be representing a country with no Olympics right now, or do you just view it as an individual sport between competitors?
I think, like, for me, it's nothing changed. For me, it's nothing changed. My opponent is a very tough guy. He know how to wrestle. He know how to kick. He know how to punch. He's like completely MMA fighter, and he's interim champ, very big name. Like I never think about like when I fight with someone, I fight with all his country. I think for fans maybe, it's gonna be like this maybe.